Hello everyone, welcome to some more Basingstoke Rags to Riches. So this is the mid-season report. We are doing phenomenally. We are doing we're doing a little bit better than I expected. As you can see right now, we are in third in the Premier Division. That could technically be fourth because Chelsea's 3 games behind. If they win all 3 of their games, or even 2 of their games, then we go down to fourth. So we're potentially in fourth right now. Right now we're sitting in third, though. It says third. I'm happy with third. We're sitting in third. And it's been a pretty awesome season, if I'm going to be honest. Our offense has been brutally effective, and our defense has done okay. We're doing basically just as well as Manchester City with not nearly as much money and just a pathetically small stadium. But we've done a great job, and let's go ahead and jump right in and look at the games. Let's see what's happened on these games so far. So, we had a fantastic start to the season. Chalked out a ton of wins, just back-to-back, tons of wins. First loss actually came to Manchester City on TV, and actually a lot of our TV matches have been losses, and they've all largely been against teams that are in fact bigger than us. Chelsea, Manchester United, Manchester City being the most notable losses there. And then, of course, in the Capital One Cup, we did great. We had QPR and then Nottingham Forest, followed by Leicester, which we had to beat in extra time, and then lost to Southampton, unfortunately, but these things happen. It's all as well. Biggest game of the season would either be the Wolves match, where we won with a late finisher at the 77th minute, or the Southampton match, where we won again late, 76th minute. 4-3 matches, absolutely huge. The Sheffield Wednesday match that happened very recently was amazing. It was 0-0 until Carvalho put it away at the 60th minute, and then an own goal, and then Diallo at the 85th, 3-0ing Sheffield Wednesday. 0-0 for most of the game, and we come back and 3-0 them, so it was pretty good. But by and large, we've done really well. We're about to enter the FA Cup, the 3rd round. Our first match actually against Dover, our nice little team that we are helping out in a great way. So with Dover, we have sent them 4 players, and those players have been doing a fantastic job. I've been keeping up with them. So, Beef Tank, currently out injured for a long time, unfortunately. He's out for another 10 weeks. He was far and away their best defender. Our Canadian youth international, their best defender, far and away, unfortunately got injured, and now he's out. He's been out for a while. Becca, also out injured for a few weeks here. A little sad, but he's not their best striker, so it's not the worst. He's a nice backup striker for him, so it's not the worst thing that he's out. Hallahan's been doing a great job. His development's okay. It's not great. We probably won't hold on to him. I haven't fully decided. He is 19. He'll be 20 this year. I might set him on for another 1 or 2 years just to keep him training. And, of course, because we can give him to Dover. So that's always an option. Charleboux, doing a fantastic job again for Dover. He's just a great player for them overall. And actually, he's a Cypriot international, as I recall. Yeah, he's a Cypriot international. That's our 2nd Cypriot international we've had. Zidane Stylianides was our first international. Actually, go ahead and get a quick scout report on him. Looks like he turned into a fantastic player. I'm really happy about that. We sold him long time ago. We sold him because we needed the money for $450,000, and it looks like they sold him to Portugal, the Portuguese Premier League. So I'm super happy to see that he has turned into a great player, basically coming straight out of our system. Tottenham had him, and then we straight up took him, and yeah, he's done a great job. So very happy to see that. And Charleboux joining in those ranks. He's playing against a former Basingstoke, playing with a former Basingstoke player. So great all around. Team-wise, tactics haven't changed. Team-wise, The team is doing a pretty solid job right now, if I'm gonna say so. Ozawa just made his first game, his debut match for the team. We finally got his work permit sorted out in December, so he has a 4-year. He has a 4-year work permit, 4.5-year work permit with us. Again, we largely have him because he's generating $2 million a year in marketing revenue. That's the main reason we have him, and the main reason why we'll play him every once in a while. Like, we'll play him in the Dover match, for example. But he's a decent backup defender, you know. He's about as good as Chris Smalling when push comes to shove. He's about as good as Chris Smalling. And he's young, so he won't be getting as much game time as he probably should be, especially at his age and for his renown. But he is still getting game time in the Premier Division, and again, he's a big revenue source for us here. As is Masaki Endo. Endo being out on injury for another 3 weeks. How is your English? How is your English? English basic. Yeah. 27,000 to the club. No problem. We'll pay that. Masaki Endo, aside from being out, in 7 matches he provided 5 goals. He, by the rough time that he got injured and everyone else had played roughly the same matches, Endo was the best finisher far and away, and he had a damaged Achilles tendon. I hope that doesn't ruin him. But he was far and away the best striker we had. Sorry, I think I said defender. He's the best striker that we had. Ba being very disappointing, and Agie just not performing quite as well as we would expect. Still performing better than Ba, which is really sad because Ba was supposed to be a pretty big deal for us. He has not really performed as well as we expected, but Masaki Endo, not just a revenue stream, an amazing player. Really, really big help. Hopefully when he's back from injury in February, he will be more useful. Our backup goalkeeper going down, Bettinelli. That's not great. He's actually a pretty decent goalkeeper, but he's out for another 5 weeks. I'm not super happy about that. And since we just entered the transfer window, we actually just picked up 2 fresh players, Matthias Henry and Jordan Corzin. So you see they don't have work permits, but I picked them up because they're 19 with some pretty big potential. Like, they have potential to actually be solid Premier Division players in the future, especially Corzin. If we can train Corzin, holy cow, he could be just a huge player for us in the future. Especially with that work rate, I really hope that he performs really, really well for us. Both of them have had decent playing experience already, which is fantastic. They're not Canadian internationals yet, but I'm hoping the fact that they were signed to a Premier Division team will get them noticed by the Canadian international team, and maybe they will get a little bit of game time in the international team, or at least call-ups. That's what I'm hoping for. They're already solid players, so if we can get them that little extra bump, you know, this guy is about to turn 20, Matthias Henry. Corazin is going to turn 20 this year as well, but if we can give them that little bit of a bump and push them to that next level, they can become Premier Division players, and I really want to see that. That or they'll be regulars in MLS. Either way, they have bright futures, and I want to help foster that bright future. So yeah, that's where they are sitting at right now. A lot of teams want these guys. I had to filter out a lot of different teams that put up bids, so I had the right teams put up the bids. There were a lot of teams that tried to pick these guys up, and they're like, yeah, we'll pick them up as cover to the first team. It's like, no. I want these guys playing on a regular basis. First team regulars. I was insistent upon first team regulars. So all these teams gave first team regulars. There were a couple extras that offered first team regular, but I rejected them because their training facilities were worse than the other options. So all of these teams that are left on the list all have good training facilities or better, which is great for those players because our training facilities are average. They are average. They're not great. Or adequate. Sorry, they're adequate training facilities, right? And that everyone else has at least good training facilities or better. There's some that are impressive, and so I'm really hoping that they can get some good experience. And maybe, if they can get a work permit as well. A lot of these teams are Swedish. If they can go get a work permit in Sweden, that would be amazing. I would love that. So financially, the club's been in a rough spot for the past little bit. Bringing on these people, I'm pretty good at getting them to just sign at $240 a week, no matter how good they are. So that makes it really easy for them to find a club. But financially, though, the club has been sitting at a loss of about $95, $96 million pretty much the entire season. The board still projects a profit of $72 million this season. So I don't know when the money's coming in. I don't know where the money's coming in. But I'm expecting the second half of the season to be fairly profitable because the first half we've been sitting at about this much the entire time. So we'll see what happens. The board just gave me an extra $16 million and $250,000 per week on payroll, so I am scouting a huge number of players. I don't even know where to even check, but a stupidly huge amount of players I'm scouting right now. And we're looking to maybe strengthen our team. I don't know what specifically. I'd like to strengthen our defense. Our defenders are a little bit worse than our offense. I'd like to get a solid striker. We don't have one of those right now, but I'd like to get a solid striker. I don't see it happening, but if we could get some better defender centers, some better defensive wingers, that would be great. I'm super happy with Sakai. He's doing a great job. He's doing great in training as well. I don't know if I've even talked to him recently. Yeah, dude, your training level, it's been great. It's been fantastic. I love your training level. You just keep getting better. So, at 3.5 stars, he's a great player for Premier Division sides. So I am happy with him. I'm happy with our goalkeeping in general, but I'm not happy with the remainder of our defense. Midfield, great. Offense, great. I'd like a better striker. I don't know if the market's ready for that right now. So we'll see how it all plays out. But by and large, we have done a great job. We're sitting in third place. We've got 10 goal difference right now, and I'm happy with the team. There's no one that's specifically stand out impressive every match. Everyone does about the same. We don't really have any superstars anymore. Carvalho, still impressive. He's still impressive. Still probably our best player. Diallo is someone I feel like I can't leave out of the team. So I guess you could say that he is a superstar. He's a superstar of the offense because I can't leave out Diallo. I feel like he's just too important. Whereas Carvalho, I'm switching with Gribben. Gribben's pretty solid. He's been doing a good job. Defense-wise, Amodio, obviously I can't leave out Sakai. I only have one goalkeeper. But defense-wise, Amodio, I think, is our best defender. He's Argentinian? Yes? Yes, Argentinian. I feel like he's our best defender, all in all. So, out of defense, Amodio. Out of offense, Diallo. And that's really it. No one else is irreplaceable. There's someone else, always someone else on the team that I can plop in to those positions. And I think that's good. I think we have good team depth here. So, it showed. We've had a great season so far. 38 points out of 20 matches, where first place has 44 points out of 20 matches. Hypothetically, Arsenal could be the leader here. They could have 46 out of 20. Chelsea could have 42 out of 20. So we'll see how it plays out. Chelsea's going to be very, very busy in the coming days. Leicester, having played 21 matches, one extra match, and they are currently dead last. They could still scrape it out there. They're only 3 points away from getting out of the relegation zone. So Leicester could still scrape it out. They could still survive. We'll see what happens. They're having a rough time. Our most recent match was against Leicester, and we did beat them 1-0, which was a very quiet match for us. If you notice, us scoring 1 goal or 0 is not super duper common. You can almost see where Masaki Endo like disappeared. Like suddenly we had 0-0-0. Like, oh my goodness, what happened? And then 1-3-0, 3-1. I'm hoping to really turn that offense back up because we had a great out of the gate performance and then teetered off here as December rolled around. So let's have another out of the gate performance. Maybe buy one player and inject some fresh talent into the defense, if at all possible. And I think that's where we're heading. So the board expects us to qualify for the Euro Cup through the Premier Division. That means we might even qualify for the Euro Cup through the FA Cup. I don't know. We've had such a great season. We could see a lot of really interesting things happen. So poor Dover though. Poor Dover. That'll be good. It'll be good though. So that's where we're at. And I am largely happy with the team. I'm a little worried about our finances, but the club says we're fine, so I guess we're fine. And that'll be it, guys. So thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a like. Subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends. Best thing to do for the channel is share the video on Facebook and on Twitter. Thank you to Amphid for being a Patreon supporter. Patreon link is in the description down below. And if you care about reviews, I'm also a curator on Steam, and that's in the group down below as well, the group link. So, again, thanks for watching. I will see you all next time with more Basingstoke's Rags to Riches as we push for the second half of the season. This has been quite the journey, quite the ride, and I am super excited about our chances in the Premier Division this year. I don't think we'll win it, but I'm confident about securing the Euro Cup, and I'm optimistic about going for the European Champions Cup. We're sitting there. All we need is 4th. That's it. All we need is 4th. But we have to fight Manchester City and Chelsea for it. And I don't know how that's going to work because I'm assuming Chelsea's going to win their matches, which means Swansea will be sitting in 6th with 31, and then 5th place would be Manchester City at 37. So we're pretty safe to get into the Euro Cup, 5th place. But we're going to fight Manchester City for that European Champions Cup position. And right now, we're winning on 1 draw. That's it. 1 draw. So, I'm excited, guys. I hope to see you next time with the same level of excitement. And we'll see where we end up. It's been rough. Again, thanks for watching. And DFTBA.